Over 15 million learners in primary and secondary school remain at home for the fourth week after schools were shut down to contain the spread of the novel coronavirus disease. Among them are those in Class 8 and Form 4 who were to sit their KCPE and KCSE exams at the end of the year. And as the uncertainty of the learning institutions remaining closed for some more weeks or perhaps months lingers, the anxiety among learners and parents remains unaddressed, and the likelihood of wasting what remains of the entire academic year very much a reality.
Now remember, the number at the top.
Perhaps the reason the president issued this directive last week.
And in this regard, we have also directed the Ministry of Education to work with our response committee to come up with steps to mitigate any negative impact on students due to the measures taken against this pandemic.
While Education CS Professor George Magoha has been positive about online learning, there are questions on whether the KICD digital learning programs are offering enough in terms of syllabus coverage, whether they will bridge the gap of a teacher during this time learners are at home, and whether the outreach of the program will be able to reach all children across the country in equal measure.
There's no reason why any parent should be anxious, because when the time comes, we shall actually tell them what they should do, and there are several scenarios. So if we have to worry, we should be worrying as to when we shall be able to control this phenomenon, and whether or not the children will open on the 1st of May or 2nd of May as we had planned.
In Bungoma, Wilfred Musungu, a CRE and English teacher at St. Peter's Mumias, has turned to the border business, sparing some little time a day to answer to some of his students' questions through the WhatsApp application on smartphones.
Mitihani ambayo wanafunzi wa kidato cha 4 na wanafunzi wa darasa la 8 wanatarajia kufanya na kwa isongeshwe mbele. Sources at NEC tell Citizen TV that the final touches of national exams are usually done by April. The two national examinations might be delayed, besides the disruption of travel to the UK, where both the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education and Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education examination papers are printed. Head teachers say the current crisis will heavily disrupt practical tests, which in some cases ought to have begun. The Ministry of Education is next week expected to issue guidelines on the steps to take to avert any further damage to the Kenyan child. Makori Ongechi, Citizen TV, Nairobi.